I'll tell you what, pull up a chair and brace yourself because the last 5 days of racing just absolutely tore the hinges off the motorsports world. If you think the summer heat is intense, the action on both dirt and concrete is currently at a flat out boil. We are talking about a stretch where the slide jobs got highly physical, the paychecks grew to historic proportions, and a road course masterclass completely turned the NASCAR regular season standings upside down. We've got Chase Dietz putting a death grip on Central Pennsylvania, winning 3 straight Speedweek ovals, including the Crown Jewel Steve Smith tribute, for a mind-boggling $50,000 payday. Over Wisconsin, Sheldon Haudenschild actually tore down the fence to secure his milestone 50th career World of Outlaws victory, while David Gravel was mathematically flawless on night 1 in a brand new car. Under the Montana sky, Rico Abreu waited for the perfect moment to snatch a high-limit victory away from Ryan Timms, and Ohio's Cap Henry proved yet again that not even a handicapped starting format can stop his march to victory lane. And then we swapped the tear-offs for the asphalt. Sonoma Raceway became Shane Van Gisbergen's personal playground as the New Zealanders swept the weekend, dominated the O'Reilly Series, and tied the legendary Tony Stewart on the all-time Cup road course win list. All while a catastrophic mechanical failure for Tyler Reddick threw the regular season championship lead right into Denny Hamlin's lap by a single solitary point. No filler, no brakes, just raw horsepower, massive stakes, and pure speed. I'm Russ Fritz.
And I'm Nathan Johns.
And this isn't just racing. This
is Switchin Grooves.
What's up, Nate?
Not much. What's up with you, Russ?
Oh, same old stuff, just a different day. Trying to beat this heat, buddy.
Yeah, it's a hot one out here too.
Well,
I gotta fix my headset.
let's get right into it. We'll start with the Dirt Sprint Car National Touring Series, or Touring and Pennsylvania Speedweek Series. Now, the World of Outlaws sprint cars at Cedar Lake. It was pretty good, if you ask me. But so the World of Outlaws series actually traveled to New Richmond, Wisconsin, for the Federated Auto Parts Independent Spectacular doubleheader at Cedar Lake Speedway on the 26th and 27th. The event carried significant championship weight as teams transitioned the demanding summer stretch. On the opening night, June 26th, David Gravel put together a mathematically perfect performance, driving the Big Game Motorsports number 2. Gravel topped the warm-up session, secured the quick time award in qualifying, won his heat race, drew the pole position pill, won the dash, and led all 35 laps of the feature event. Talk about a performance. But the victory was actually achieved using a brand new, unraced chassis, demonstrating the exceptional baseline setup capabilities of his entire crew. The triumph was Gravel's second consecutive series win following a historic $300,000 victory at Houston Speedway for the High Bank Nationals. And that happened just a week before. Buddy Kofoid charged from 8th to finish 2nd, while Bill Balog actually brought his number 17B home in 3rd. The second night of the doubleheader, well, on June 27th, that actually produced a historic milestone for Sheldon Haudenschild. Sheldon capitalized on a late race duel with Buddy Kofoid, utilizing the high line momentum run off the cushion in turns 3 and 4 to execute the winning pass with just 2 laps remaining. The victory was Sheldon's 50th career World of Outlaws win, making him the 19th driver in history to reach such a milestone, doing so in his 685th career feature start. Garrett Williamson finished third, while Chris Windham and Bill Bailow completed the top 5, and the result allowed David Gravel to extend his championship points lead to 86 points over Carson Macedo, who finished 6th. Over on the high limit side, well, they actually traveled to Big Sky Speedway in Billings, Montana for the Race Routine Foundation race weekend starting the 26th. And in the preliminary 30-lap feature, Ryan Timms actually appeared poised to secure a dominant victory, leading the opening 24 laps and building a lead of over 3 seconds. But however, the demanding track conditions caught up to the young driver on lap 25 when a miscalculation over the turn 2 cushion actually upset his car. So reigning series champion Rico Abreu, positioned in second place, actually capitalized instantly on that error to assume the lead and hold off the field through a green-white checkered overtime finish. The victory was Abreu's 5th of the season and his 29th career high-limit triumph, allowing him to extend his championship points lead over Aaron Reisel. Timms recovered to finish 2nd, while Gio Scelzi completed the podium in 3rd. The momentum of the weekend was abruptly halted on Saturday as severe weather again forced the cancellation of the 26,000 to win finale at Big Sky Speedway. Series officials announced that makeup location for a high payout event would actually be determined in the near future. So I hope to hear where that's going to be soon.
Me
and
too.
I'll let everybody know when we do. But all right, PA Sprint Speedweek and the regional momentum is next on my list here. So Central Pennsylvania's legendary Sprint Car Speedweek commenced its 10 race schedule on June 26th, delivering highly dramatic storylines across the region's historic dirt ovals. The opening round at Williams Grove Speedway on June 26th witnessed an emotional victory for Anthony Macri, who finally returned to the cockpit after a grueling 3-month recovery from a back injury, and Macri actually started 4th, advanced to 2nd on the opening lap. When the race leader Logan Rumsey suffered a sudden mechanical failure with 9 laps remaining, Macri inherited the lead and drove away to a commanding 4.95 second victory over Justin Whittall and Lance Dewease. Almost 5 seconds. That's amazing. So following the opener, the narrative of Speedweek shifted entirely to Chase Dietz, who actually put together a highly lucrative championship run. At Lincoln Speedway's Kevin Gobrick Memorial on June 27th, Dietz executed a flawless late race restart to hold off Anthony Macri and claim his first victory of the week. Dietz carried that momentum to Pabst Motor Speedway on June 28th, charging from 6th place to pass international standout James McFadden and win the $12,000 to win feature. The highlight of Dietz's career occurred on Monday night, June 29th, during the running of the prestigious Steve Smith tribute race at Lincoln Speedway. The crown jewel event boasted a staggering total purse with $50,019 designated to the winner. Dietz started on the front row alongside Freddie Raymer, slipping into 2nd early before executing a series of precision moves through heavy traffic on the tight slick bull ring. Dietz assumed the lead and cruised to the richest victory of his sprint car career. The drive of the night behind him belonged to Danny Dietrich, who earned hard charger honors by passing 20 cars to storm from 22nd to 2nd, with Cameron Smith completing the podium in 3rd. Dietz's 3 consecutive victories solidified his position atop the regional standings and established a historic benchmark for momentum during the physical grind of Speedweek. Amazing run. Amazing run there. I don't even know what else to say. I mean, it's awesome for him. Glad to see him doing so well. I think this kid's going to be someone to look out for in the future, man. But as Speedweek actually transitions into its final stretch, the remaining rounds present a grueling test of endurance and adaptation. or adaptation, I should say. The fifth round, the Greg Hodnick Cup at Grandview Speedway on Tuesday, June 30th, is expected to draw a highly competitive field with Dietz defending his points lead against a stout contingent of PA Posse regulars, including Freddie Raymer, Danny Dietrich, and national non-wing star Brady Bacon. I actually wrote this last night, or yesterday, so just had some issues where we couldn't get on, but that was actually last night, so I apologize for not updating my notes here. But furthermore, to provide relief from a forecasted extreme summer temperatures, officials at Port Royal Speedway have announced a proactive schedule adjustment for today's round, delaying the start of the 10,000 to win event by 1 hour to actually protect competitor and fan welfare. So they started everything an hour later today to try to get the sun down.
Last time I checked, they were in the B mains. Last time I checked.
So I'll move on to the regional and open wheel sagas, Attica, Fremont, and Mansfield this past weekend. The mid-season momentum at Attica and Fremont. Okay, while Central Pennsylvania actually captivated open wheel fans with Speed Week, the highly competitive dirt tracks of Ohio produced crucial regional showdowns. On Friday, Attica actually hosted its mid-season championship night featuring a 5,000 to win Callie's Performance Products 410 sprint feature, and Cap Henry, the track's defending champion, overcame the Attica challenge. It's a starting format which actually forced him to start 8th on the grid to methodically carve his way through the field. Cap Henry, I should say, because there are two Henrys that race here now, but Cap moved into the podium positions early, took second on lap 11, and executed the race-winning pass on Larry Kingseed Jr. on lap 22 to claim his 4th track victory of the season and a $1,000 challenge bonus. Kingseed secured a career best runner-up finish, with Jordan Ryan completing the podium in 3rd. In 305 sprint car action, Brian Sabito took the lead on lap 17 from Dustin Dinan to actually claim his 5th overall win of the season. Sabito carried his dominant form into Saturday, right over to Fremont, and starting 7th, Sabito bypassed Dustin Dinan to remain undefeated at the track that actually built so far in 2026. He lapped up to 9th position and pretty much winning the 305 feature by like 8 seconds. It was amazing. Like, unbelievable. The weekend sweep cemented Sabito's lead in the AFCS 305 standings, while the 410 sprint car Fremont track championship battle actually tightened down to a single point, with Caleb Henry leading Cap Henry 394 to 393. High stakes and revival at Mansfield actually continued its successful revival under track owner and former NASCAR driver Matt Tifft with the Summer Sprint Car Showdown on Saturday the 27th. Nate Dussel put on a masterclass in the Fast 410 wing sprint car feature, using the wide high bank surface to hold off persistent challenges from Cap Henry and Greg Wilson to win the 25-lap main event. Corbin Hayslett added to the open wheel spectacle by capturing the Buckeye Outlaw Super Sprints non-wing event over Jacob Boxell. This capped a highly successful late spring stretch for the Mansfield's facility, which recently hosted the World of Outlaws Late Model Series on May 29th and 30th. And during that event, Texas star Tyler Turbo Herb actually captured a career-high $100,000 payday in the Blaster 57 Special. After local philanthropists Dan and Brendan Niss made a historic race purse donation, converting the standard $12,000 to win share into a 6-figure windfall. And we actually have a sprint car penalty report, Nathan. Not something you hear about every day.
That's not good. Well, we heard that once before with somebody else, I think, but it's not very often.
Yeah. So the national and regional silly season rosters have actually begun to crystallize as teams prepare for the demanding July stretch. Highlighting the 2026 Kevin Grobrecht Rookie of the Year campaign in the World of Outlaws Tour is actually 21-year-old standout Emerson Axum. Axum, who actually started his year by winning the prestigious 40th Chili Bowl Nationals in January, committed full-time to the Outlaws Trail, piloting the Kleismeyer-Petrie Motorsports number 27. Axum has enjoyed an incredibly consistent rookie run, accumulating 3 top 5s and 9 top 10s to lead the rookie standings by 120 points over Ashton Torgerson. But furthermore, the World of Outlaws actually just a day or two ago published a formal penalty report stating that Emerson Axum was involved in an off-track incident at Cedar Lake that included physical contact prior to the drivers' meeting. The penalty, a $500 fine and probation for the remainder of the 2026 season. They also tie it directly to the World Racing Group General Rulebook, Section 7, Paragraph F, which addresses altercations and physical contact and lists potential consequences. While the fine is not the real story, a lot of fans will hear a $500 fine and think that's it. But the fine is the headline number. The real payload is a season-long probation. So the probation means you don't get the benefit of the doubt the next time something escalates. Your team is in a don't give them a reason mode, and every interaction becomes a higher risk because officials have already signaled that they're watching. So how this changes pit area behavior? Well, here's what I think it changes in real terms. Drivers and teams will self-police more. Crew chiefs and car owners don't want their program jeopardized because emotions get out of hand. Officials actually now have a reference point in writing what they'll do for physical contact in an official setting. It pushes conflict into quieter channels, and instead of in the open confrontations, we'll say, you'll see more people wait until they're away from officials or handle it via series staff. Why this matters for the rest of the season, though, this isn't just about one incident. It's about setting the tone as the schedule gets hotter, we'll say, and the purses become bigger and the pressure rises. When the series formalizes discipline, it's telling everyone the product includes professionalism. And to be clear, this isn't me guessing what happened and what they wrote. I'm sticking to the report itself. Physical contact occurred, it happened prior to the driver's meeting, and the punishment is a fine and probation. So you can't do that. You got to be professional. If you want to handle it like that, you have to do it off the property, away from the event, and do your thing, But that's it for sprint cars. Now we'll move over to NASCAR. So NASCAR was in wine country.
In-season weekend.
Yeah, NASCAR was out in wine country this past weekend. And
it's a severe case of deja vu.
The late June portion of the 2026 NASCAR Cup Series calendar reached a dramatic climax at Sonoma Raceway during the running of the Toyota Save Mart 350 on June 28, 2026. And the 1.99, almost 2-mile, 11-turn road course served as the backdrop for a physical and strategic showcase that fundamentally altered the landscape of the regular season championship. Shane Van Gisbergen, piloting the number 97, demonstrated his characteristic road course expertise, securing his second consecutive Cup Series victory at the venue. Started in 6th, he navigated a highly technical racetrack, I should say. He fended off persistent late race challenges from runner-up Chase Briscoe to cross the line with a margin of victory of 0.35 seconds.
It was not much of a victory. Close. It was way closer than we expected. I was looking to see what the margin of victory was. It doesn't even say. Oh, 0.357, yes. So less than half a second.
Well, that triumph actually marked Van Gisbergen's 8th career Cup Series victory in just his 68th start, a milestone that actually ties him with Hall of Famer Tony Stewart for the second most road course wins in series history. that actually places him just one victory behind Jeff Gordon's record of 9. And while Shane Van Gisbergen actually controlled 74 of the 83 laps, the performance required intense physical exertion as the handling of the 97 deteriorated significantly during the final run. I mean, it was going to crap on him big time.
Oh yeah. I gotta pull up my notes for this part of the list. This part of the episode. The funniest part about all this from this weekend is kicked off the in-season tournament this weekend. We started off with 32 teams, or was it 32? Yeah, I think it was 32 teams. And as of the completion of week 1, we have 0 perfect brackets again. Which is the funniest part about all this is what exactly do we expect? We have to have 32 drivers all just get the perfect finish the way we predict them. There's no way you're going to be able to predict 32 drivers, finishing order. We can barely pick the winner of the race half the time. And of course, again, it was this year. It was the number 1 seed and number 32 seed that I guarantee boasted most of people's brackets. Alex Bowman ended up knocking out Tyler Reddick from the number 1 seed. Most people had 15 out of 16 picks correct. Well, that would have been the one I guarantee that knocked everybody out because Tyler Reddick lost power steering early. I think it was like stage 1. He went multiple laps down with a power steering issue. Just going from the highest of highs at San Diego to the lowest of lows at Sonoma. It's amazing how just the different latitudes change a team's performance. Sorry, Russ, go ahead.
No, you're all right. I was just replying to a comment.
It was that definitely one of the I wouldn't say as crazy as San Diego, but when it comes to storylines and different drivers' performances, tale of 2 different tapes, I guess we'll call it. It was one of the more interesting weekends. I mean, deja vu, SVG wins, deja vu, we have everybody's brackets are busted week 1. Last year it was the wild card of Atlanta. This year it was the wild card of Alex Bowman. It's just comical to me. I missed by quite a bit. I missed Bowman. I had Suarez moving on and Zane Smith. And, of course, that bit me because I actually picked Briscoe to do horrible. I had Allmendinger moving on. Well, that shows me. I guess Toyotas are still better than Chevys in the end, and I hate that. Was a bad week for me. I had one section of the entire bracket where I didn't miss a single thing. And, of course, almost every single Hendrick driver was in that corner, except for that one oddball, Alex Bowman. That really sucks. Darn you, Alex.
So Briscoe, driving that Gibbs number 19, as usual, he mounted a furious charge over the closing laps. He drew within a single car length at the turn 11 hairpin.
He tried to lay the bumper to him and missed.
Yeah. And he ultimately failed to execute a clean passing maneuver.
He failed to make a pass in general.
But behind the lead duel, though, pole sitter Ty Gibbs completed a clean sweep of the opening 2 stages, leading 31 laps and utilizing a conventional stage pitting strategy. And that contrasted with the short pitting tactics of SVG and Briscoe. Gibbs actually secured a 3rd place finish, and Kyle Larson finished 4th, with Christopher Bell rounding out the top 5. And that actually delivered a remarkable, resilient performance while managing a fractured wrist by him. And it's like driving with
Rick Cruz blew the motor last week. He didn't want it happening again.
So the event carried a profound implication for regular season point standings. Now, let's get into this. Regular season leader Tyler Reddick suffered a power steering failure, and that happened early on. So that kind of sucked for him. So that issue forced the number 45 to spend 6 laps on pit road and ended up giving him a last place finish. So that retirement from the race actually allowed Hamlin, who actually started 26 or finished 26, I should say, I'm sorry, after being spun by Carson Hocevar, the Hurricane. He assumed a slim championship lead over Reddick by just 1 point. So the rounds served as the opening bracket of the high stakes in-season challenge, as we talked about, introducing unique matchup dynamics to the field. And the bracket saw significant upsets, none larger than 32nd seeded Alex Bowman, eliminating the top seeded Tyler Reddick, courtesy of Reddick's mechanical misfortune. And additionally, 12th seeded Chase Briscoe defeated 21st seeded road course specialist AJ Allmendinger. And the 25th seeded Todd Gilliland secured an upset over 8th seeded Daniel Suarez. So in other bracket matchups, 20th seeded McDowell actually eliminated Bubba Wallace, while Austin Cindric actually triumphed over Brad Keselowski. The tournament structure added a secondary layer of competition through the pack, and it altered traditional passing risks as the drivers actually fought not just for overall track position, but actually to survive their head-to-head tournament matchups.
I will say the toughest draw of the week, my vote has to go to Ryan Preece. When you're at a road course and you have to go up against SVG, I wouldn't have even gone out there. He was dead in the water before that race even started. He had to have some sort of catastrophic failure like Tyler Reddick did to even have a shot at beating SVG. And once he took the lead, you could write it off. I mean, he still, I think, finished 8th, which is quite impressive when you're going against SVG. I mean, that's probably the best finish I think he had so far all season. I got to give a shout out to Connor Zilic, though. Hasn't had a top 10 all year, has wrecked everything but the kitchen sink. He finished 7th for once. He did something right.
It's about damn time.
I know, right? Just a wild weekend when it comes to the bracket, but at the same time, we got good performances that are well deserved and drawn out that finally happened.
And it's no surprise that Hocevar spun somebody out.
I mean, I don't expect any different from him. I will say, and I'm just seeing this now in the NASCAR standings, with that mechanical failure, all of us thought that Tyler Reddick was untouchable. He is now 1 point behind Denny Hamlin. Only 1. It took all that. But 1 measly point is all it took for Denny Hamlin to take the top spot. Now, I will say that we've seen this fish before. And the regular season champion, I don't know if I've ever actually seen them win the season championship. So by all means, if Denny Hamlin wins the regular season, we can kind of check that off the list that he's not going to win the Cup season, the season-ending championship at Homestead this year. But, with NASCAR and their shenanigans, we'll never know what happens. Chase hasn't been good to Denny in the past, so hopefully the pattern stays the same. Hopefully they put a little extra tape on the nose. Hopefully they'll leave a little bit extra tape on the nose. Yeah, rookie mistakes. Yeah. So put a little bit extra on, just make sure that they try to heat the car up because it's cold in Miami.
So over in the O'Reilly Auto Parts series, it was, what do they call it? The Pit Boss Food Max 250.
I forget what it was. I have to go look now. That sounds
that race
right.
cemented. It cemented a dominant weekend sweep for SVG, driving part-time the number 9 Junior Motorsports Chevy entry, and Van Gisbergen actually controlled the event from the pole, leading 66 of 79 scheduled laps, and the performance showcased his command of road course logistics and fuel conservation. He maintained a comfortable gap over his teenage teammate Gunnar Zillage, without putting unnecessary stress on the entire engine package. So, great job there. But Zillage's drive to secure second place was a notable display of recovery, per se. He got busted speeding on pit road during stage 1, which was a short pit attempt, and served a pass-through penalty that actually dropped him to 33rd. He carved his way back through the field, and he led when Van Gisbergen pitted on lap 43 and claimed the stage 2 victory. He ultimately fell short of catching SVG, which in a caution-free final 30-lap run, which was surprising. The performance underscored his readiness for the National Series competition up in the Cup Series. So, I don't know. How you feel about that?
I don't know. I feel like Connor Zilic, when SVG is not in the field, at least last year, he was the next best thing from SVG. When SVG was in the field, you kind of knew he was going to at least finish second on road courses. I feel like, honestly, his performance is slipping in the O'Reilly series. I mean, for example, last year, it seemed like he was bushwhacking with all these guys in the O'Reilly Auto Parts series. You know, he was just absolutely kicking their butts. Could win on just about anything. And now it kind of seems like when he is in the field, he's really not the guy he was last year. I don't know if that collarbone, really hurt his performance that much, but he's not the person that we saw earlier last year. I feel like it's definitely dropped his performance, and it's definitely kind of odd seeing how different the track performance is. I mean, also it is Trackhouse, but I still don't know if I, 100% accept the fact that it's just Trackhouse that's his issue, and that O'Reilly Auto Parts Series he shouldn't be absolutely dominating. So I do have questions on that stuff.
So, rookie Brent Cruz actually finished third, and that actually secured a critical playoff line buffer points, if you want to say. I mean, I know it's not playoffs, but while Viking Motorsports actually celebrated a banner day with Anthony Alfredo and Parker Retzlaff, they finished 4th and 5th respectively. And Taylor Gray was actually poised for a top 5 finish, but ran out of fuel right on the final lap. It dropped him, to 29th, I believe?
I'm looking to see.
But despite a difficult 26th place finish, veteran Justin Allgaier actually retained a commanding point lead over Jesse Love by 207 points, I believe.
He clinched the playoff berth. He's officially clinched for the playoffs, or for the chase.
So, and the trucks, they were off this week, so we don't have anything on that. But
they go to Lime Rock here, not this weekend, but next weekend.
So with the trucks off, I threw something else in there, which I don't normally cover. We don't normally cover. I threw a little ARCA in there since we didn't have any trucks, but ARCA this weekend was at action in Sonoma on Friday with the General Tire 150 ARCA Menards Series West Race. The event showcased the raw speed of Sam Corey, who dominated the 47-lap feature And what does he drive? The 25 Nitro Motorsports, I believe.
What was the question?
And Corey.
Oh,
his car. Yeah, that's what it says. The
I think it
Nitro
was
Motorsports
Nitro.
Toyota.
I had to think about it.
Corey led every single lap of the race, and he successfully held off teammate Mia Lavelle to actually secure his first victory in the series. So that flawless performance by Nitro highlighted the importance, we'll say, of tire management and track position on Sonoma's abrasive surface, setting a technical precedent that would actually influence setup configurations used by National Series teams on Sunday. So, I mean, he did a great job. I mean, it was amazing. Your first win, and then you lead the whole race. I mean, what better race could you ask for to actually win? And on a road course. So, great job, man. I mean, I don't know what to say to that. That's one of the best performances I've ever seen.
I do have one more O'Reilly thing that we forgot. Austin Green with the absolute destruction of the turn 11 wall. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, I didn't throw that in there. I forgot about it.
For those who don't know what we're talking about, during practice on Friday, or I think it was Friday, the 26th, on practice of June for the O'Reilly Series on June 26th, Austin Green either had some sort of brake failure or the throttle hung, and he hit the wall so hard in turn 11 that it gave flashbacks of San Diego and actually broke through the tire barrier and the concrete barrier on pit road. So that was a lengthy repair. Fortunately, I guess they did get the car, prepared for the backup. I don't actually know where he finished because I forgot to look that up while I was in the process of that. But definitely one of the wilder crashes I think I've ever seen at Sonoma, other than people ended up on top of the tire packs. That was one of the more insane crashes. Where did he end up finishing after all that? Apparently I missed him. But yeah, he had a gnarly crash. Where is Austin Green?
Yeah,
Did I miss? He must have had to withdraw from the race. Oh no. So after all that, he finished 12th. I just spotted them. So after absolutely destroying the track, he finished 12th. He finished behind Sammy Smith and ahead of William Sawalich, which I got to give him credit. After you clobber the wall, finishing 12th is a very respectable finish, especially after all that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's wild.
That's amazing.
Then I do have one more update that I was unaware of until after our episode last time. But apparently the fan on track at San Diego, Sheldon Creed did know who he was, but didn't want to say anything to get himself in trouble during the race. He waited till the next week so he couldn't get penalized, which I think is absolutely diabolical. But at the same time, that's like a high IQ thing not to get yourself penalized, knowing the guy who came on track was there for you. That is the funniest thing I think I've ever heard of.
Well, that was pretty smart.
I mean, it's smart that he didn't get penalized. But
shout out to Sheldon Creed, man.
He threw that guy right under the bus. Didn't let him get in trouble and then admitted, "Oh yeah, I knew him after the fact." That's bad.
Yeah,
I'm sure he paid. I'm sure he paid his bail and everything. I sure hope he did. That's wild. I was just scrolling through all my stuff from the past week that I've been sharing to Russ. I was trying to see if there was any ones. I will say, and I think this was during the O'Reilly, or not the O'Reilly, during the ARCA race. The whole Chris Wright shirt might have been the funniest part of that broadcast. I only saw the pictures from it, but that is one of the funnier photos I've seen. The shirt reads, "If you or a loved one has been wrecked by Chris Wright, please call 1-800-STOP-WRIGHT." That might have been the best shirt I have seen in a long time for something like that. And also some unrelated NASCAR news. NASCAR is now putting out the fastest interview show ever, On the Gas with Ryan Blaney. They released the first episode today with I think Key Ryan, or not Key Brian Hayes, whatever his name is, the guy from Key and Peele. They did that episode today, and I will say it was kind of interesting, but at the same time, I hope these next few interviews are way more entertaining, because that one really didn't catch my attention. They had the whole answer trivia questions as you do a lap around Indy, and then at the very end, I guess they're going to do a competition for all the people that are on the show on who could spill the least amount of drink during a lap around the road course at Indy, which is really funny to me. But I'm sure there'll be people who score absolutely horribly, and then there'll be somebody who cheats. I guarantee it.
I'll tell you, speaking of trivia, while I was at Mansfield, the Speedweek show, the support class was the Midwest Thunder Midgets. So during that event, they asked, who won this race last year, and I gave them all the information. It was Price, Massengill. I told them, how many laps he led, where he started, and even what the date was. And they couldn't believe that I knew, and I knew all that. They asked me if I looked it up. I said absolutely not. I was actually here for that race. So,
didn't they give you a prize back or something?
Dude, I got 5 T-shirts, including this one. This was.
I can say that the one that actually fits now.
Yeah, but it was. It's actually a 2025 shirt, but hey, I don't care. It's a racing shirt. So,
oh yeah.
I got 5 shirts, a mud cover from a midget that's autographed by one of the drivers.
That's pretty cool.
Don't have it sitting right here. I got a Nerf gun, which my kids enjoyed. But man, it was awesome of them. And they must have seen the episode before where I said that it didn't. None of the shirts fit me, so they actually sent me the one I'm wearing through the mail.
It might have been your solo episode, because I think you and I talked about this on the last one, how they were going to send you one, but you hadn't gotten it yet, I think. Is that the new shirt?
Yeah, it's actually a pretty cool looking shirt, man. I like it.
It does look cool.
But I don't follow midget racing, so unfortunately I don't cover it. But a huge shout out to Midwest Thunder Midgets, though. They actually did put on a really, really great race. So it was kind of cool to watch. But huge shout out to them, and thank you very much for sending me this shirt through the mail that I can actually wear and support you guys in what you do. I try to buy stuff off of whoever I can, as long as I like the shirt or the product. I try to support a little bit of everyone, drivers, teams, series, and because that's what helps make you guys go. And if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have the entertainment that we do. So we appreciate all the drivers out there, all the teams out there, all the series out there, and especially all the tracks out there that make that grind week to week to week. Thank you so much for what you do and giving us the entertainment that we so much enjoy. So huge shout out to you all. Thank you very much. But
I do have, I found this crazy statistic this week with NASCAR going back to Chicagoland for the 4th of July weekend. I saw this list earlier this week and I needed to share this. What, NASCAR at Chicagoland?
Chicagoland sucks. I hate that racetrack.
Well, I found this interesting list. I got to give a shout out to NASCAR Race Today on Facebook. They put out a list of the following NASCAR drivers have never made a Cup Series start at Chicagoland. And some of them are obvious, SVG, Connor Zilisch. But some of these caught me by surprise. Christopher Bell, Josh Berry, Chase Briscoe, Austin Centric, Cole Custer, Todd Gilliland, Noah Gregson, Corey Heim, Riley Herbst, Austin Hill, Carson Hocevar, John Hunter Nemechek, Tyler Reddick, Zane Smith, SVG, Cody Ware, and Connor Zilisch have never made a Cup Series start at Chicagoland. For me, that is absolutely wild that list is that long. I would have thought for sure some of these guys would have had at least a Cup Series start. I mean, I thought Christopher Bell was in the Cup Series in 2019. I think it was the last time they raced. So I'm a little surprised by that because I thought he was in the 95 car. So that's wild to me.
That is like half of the field.
That's what's insane to me. There's what? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17 drivers have never made a Cup Series start at Chicagoland. I swear some of these guys had to have made a start there because it doesn't make sense.
That's literally over half of the field.
38. Yeah, that sounds about right. 38.
No, not literally, but
I'm having a hard time doing math now because I think there's 38 charters. So almost half.
Yeah,
They're too short of having half.
I'm thinking of the O'Reilly series, yeah.
That's still wild to me that, 17 out of 38 full-time drivers have never made a Cup Series start at Chicagoland. I would have thought for sure Christopher Bell would have made one, at least in the 95. That makes zero sense to me. I can't even fathom that.
Bubba Wallace has actually made a Cup Series start at Chicagoland?
That's what I was surprised. I thought it was in the the 43 car. I would have thought that was around the same time.
I forgot.
I would have thought that would have been the same time that Christopher Bell was in the 95. So that's wild to me.
That was what? Petty GMS?
Yes.
Back then?
Yeah. I gotta look this up because I can't figure out. I can't even fathom that.
Yeah, that's insane, man. I can't believe that many guys.
When was NASCAR's last Cup race at Chicagoland? Because now I'm curious because I can't fathom that. 2019. So June 30th, 2019, Alex Bowman held off Kyle Larson. I would have thought for sure that Christopher Bell was in that field. So I can't even fathom that. That was when he was in the Exalta 48 car. I mean, they had to have been in the field when they had the Kyle Larson, Kyle Busch finish.
Yeah, that's insane. But, well, before I wrap it up, you got anything else?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head. I was looking to see if I could find the results from that race. Monster Energy, so yeah, it would have been around that time. Kevin Harvick. Where is the race results? Oh, that's only the top 10. That's dumb. That was back when Eric Almirola and Ryan Blaney were in the series.
There still are. Well, Eric
Almirola is. I'm sorry. Di Benedetto was in the 95 back then. That shows how long it's been since they were in the series. That's wild. I never knew that. That's
good old
crazy to me.
Benedetto.
Cody Ware wasn't even in. I didn't even know there was a Petty Ware racing. That's a wild one. This was back when Go Fast and Starcom were still in the field. That's kind of funny. Matt Tifft was actually in that race. I didn't know that. That's kind of funny. That's kind of funny. One more thing before I forget. So I don't know. I know there's not a whole lot of late model people that watch our show, but I just saw recently that Mansfield is now going to take on the Lucas Series for the race. I think it's on Friday the 3rd. I guess they were supposed to race at Atomic, and they ended up sending the race over to Mansfield in the event, because they couldn't do the payout. So I'm happy that Mansfield's getting it. Definitely, disappointing that Atomic's losing another series. But at the same time, I guess that had to be done. So that's all I could think of off the top of my head.
Yeah, I was actually gonna throw that in right here. That if you're a late model fan, yes, Lucas Oil has pulled the show from Atomic Speedway in Chillicothe, Ohio, and they have moved it to Mansfield Speedway in Mansfield, Ohio. And with the cancellation of the World of Outlaws late model show, there are supposed to be some World of Outlaw drivers coming. So that ought to be a good show Friday night. And I wish that I could go to that, but they are calling for rain here now. And I hope that they are able to get to it, because I really want to see Mansfield succeed and have a good year this year. Their surface
was rough that first week.
Yeah, it was really, really rough. And even Matt Tifft himself said it was terrible, and that he was pretty much embarrassed by it. And that is great to see, though, because that shows that he has
the humility almost. Yeah.
And that it pushes him to strive to be better and to do better, and that he wants his venue to be successful. So this past weekend, though, the surface was phenomenal compared to what it was the first round. So
yeah,
great job. Huge shout out to Matt and his entire team. I love the fact that they don't have a streaming service yet right now that they are on. So they are still broadcasting live on YouTube on race nights for free for Mansfield shows. Now, special events are obviously probably on, the flow or dirt or wherever. But for those regular shows for Mansfield, great job to them, so the fans can still see the venue. I mean, he's doing a phenomenal job, and that's just a huge marketing tactic right there. And he knows exactly what he's doing. So I can't wait to actually make it to Mansfield and see a race there. And I hope this place gets to stick around for years to come. So great job to that entire team.
Seems like a cool place.
And thank you to Matt for putting the money into it and all the work that you have. We appreciate it to bring back a racetrack. So it's tough to do, and it was a lot of money that I wish I had, but I don't. I can't wait to get there. So to close out, I will give my analytic outlook like I do. And my analysis of the competitive trends from late June 2026 actually reveal a fundamental shift in how teams approach track surface degradation and mechanical risk. On the asphalt road courses, SVG and Connor Zilich have demonstrated that short pitting during the first two stages to secure that track position for the final stage is often a mathematically superior strategy to chasing stage points. While this strategy actually sacrifices early race points, it maximizes the probability of securing the race win and the chase bonus points that accompany it. This strategic divergence is likely to influence setup philosophies as the Cup Series prepares for upcoming road course events. Then that would be next year, obviously, because we are done with the road courses this year. But over in the dirt track disciplines, the regional momentum generated by Chase Dietz during PA Speedweek underscores the value of localized chassis refinement. Unlike national touring series that require teams to constantly adapt to wildly different track sizes and clay compositions, the geographically concentrated nature of Speedweek allows teams to refine their setups on familiar surfaces. This localized advantage actually allows regional teams to regularly defeat national superstars, highlighting the persistent strength of the regional short track ecosystem. As the summer stretch intensifies, the ability of teams to manage driver fatigue and maintain mechanical reliability during back-to-back race nights will ultimately decide the 2026 championship battles. But that's going to wrap it up for this episode. Don't forget, we bring you race recaps, breakdowns, and all those adrenaline-packed moments every week. Whether you live for those sideways, mudslinging, dirt track sliders, or the door-banging, paint-trading action of NASCAR, you belong right here. Hit that subscribe button now so you never miss a finish. Until next time, keep switching grooves. I'm Russ Fritz.
And I'm Nathan Johns.
We're saying race hard.
Stay safe.
And we'll see you there. Good night.
Good night, everybody.